It doesn't take what we call a 26 closure or a positive employment outcome to be successful. You know, some of the individuals that are presenting at this conference have amazing stories, you know, and what the services they have received from Voc Rehab have enabled them to take that next step.
Every human being has a right to go out and work and be independent. And we support those values and that philosophy and that mission by doing the best we can to provide every service to help every individual that comes through our doors to become independent, because that's their right.
A number of years ago, I lost my job for my undiagnosed Asperger's, and I went into one of the one-stops for a few days, and the people there were like, well, I think Voc Rehab would really help you. So I'm like, okay, sure. So I went up there, and I've been with the same counselor ever since, and she's helped me at least attempt to get employment. Because of the nature of my disability, Asperger's, there's only so much you can do in so many words to prevent an employer from, sensing like there's something different about you.
I believe a lot of discrimination in any area comes from ignorance. And that's where the education comes in, is to know what resources are out there and to really know what the facts are about the person.
Back in 2008, I suffered a spinal stroke, and I was working at the time for the Small Business Administration as a director, helping people start businesses. And I thought perhaps I would, since I was now on a walker, actually I was in a wheelchair at the time, I thought I would approach the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation and see if they could help me start a business as a consultant. And so I was a consumer for them, and they did indeed help me, put out my shingle. And then they approached me and said that they liked the materials of my business plan, and they were looking for someone to approve business plans and to help their consumers start businesses or expand businesses throughout Kentucky. I was in the hospital for 2.5 years, and I didn't think that I would ever be able to be out in the business world again. And through their help and through efforts of people around me, I have been able to not only get back to work, but also reach out and help others do the same.
A person without a disability can go out and start their own business, so a person with a disability should be able to do the same thing.
It's really very rewarding, and I think it's going to be an area of vocational rehabilitation that's going to just keep growing.
They don't want to be dependent. They want to be independent. They just need that avenue. That's what our agency can do, and that's the benefit. We can make a difference, and people sometimes forget that.
I have a disability. I get around in a wheelchair, but I do things. I work full-time, and it's through the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation that afforded me that opportunity to be able to do that.
Sometimes you do have this shoulder where you just listen, let them vent. Sometimes you say, okay, get off the pity pot, let's go. Let's get out the door and get something done. What are your choices? What's your next step? And help push them out.
It's good to see that we have a conference geared towards the consumer and geared towards the staff, because we want to refocus. We want to say that these are the people that we are here for. These are the people we have helped, and there's a lot of other people like them, ready to receive services.
We need to look at that consumer as an active partner. It's not a top-down, it's a side-by-side. We're all sitting at the round table now, informing our consumer and letting them make their choices about what's best for them, and providing them information that they need to make those decisions.
They're actually giving a hand up to some individuals and not a handout. It's all up to you. If you don't perform to the best of your ability, then you won't still receive the services. And if you do and go on to be successful, then you'll be a local, state, and federal tax producer.
I still had to do my part in order to be successful.
You have to earn those grades, and you have to work just as hard to seek out that employment as your vocational rehabilitation counselor is working as well.
Empathy, I'm feeling what you're feeling, very similar. Sympathy is, oh, you poor thing. Nobody wants sympathy.